Welcome back to the Arbitrary YouTube channel. Today we'll be learning how to make this beautiful cape with center ruffle here. It's very simple to make, and I made this with scuba fabric. It's very lovely and it just makes your simple house fit more elegant. If this is what you would like to learn, kindly stay tuned and watch till the end. Thank you. To make this cape, you need to take the measurement of where you'll be attaching it to. In this case, you'll be attaching it to a round shoulder, and the round shoulder measurement is 38 inches. Okay, so you can cut this cape anyhow depending on how free you want it to be. It can be a 90-degree flare, it can be a 180, 360-degree full flare, or whatever you want. I have a detailed video on how to cut different types of flare, so you may want to check that out if you don't know how to. But for this, I want it a little free but not too free, so I'll be going with 180-degree flare. Okay, and the formula for calculating the radius of a 180-degree flare is the circumference. That's where you want to place it, divided by 3.142 is a constant. You can check that video to see how we come about that figure. Okay, so now the 38 divided by 3.142 now is giving me around 12.0 there. I'm just going to be using 12 inches for my radius. So now I measure the 12 inches from here, and then I'll connect it round. It's a simple cape. It's very simple to make and it's beginner friendly. Okay, so my fabric is folded into two. Okay, so you can see I just lift it up. It's folded into two, and then I calculated my radius to be 12 inches, and that is what I'm measuring now. So now once I have my 12 inches, I'm going to connect it like that. This is my radius. Now you need to decide the length you want for your cape. So for me, I think I'll be using 6 or 7 inches. Let me see what I have around 8 inches, so I can go with the 8 inches also, including seam allowance. So to get my 8 inches now from the 12 inches radius that I have, I'm just going to be marking 8 inches round like that. Or you can just mark 20 inches from the origin. It's still going to give you the same thing, so you can see. Okay, you can mark 20 inches from the origin, or you just mark 8 inches from where your radius stops. So once you measure all this, also you're going to connect it, and that is all you need to do. You can see it's very simple to make your cape. So once you have that, now you take your scissors and then you cut it out. So for fullness, you may want to cut 2 of these so that you use them to line each other. But I'll not be cutting lining for this because, as we all know, I'm doing this for the purpose of illustration. So but if you want it really puffy, you can just cut 2 of these and then you use them to line each other. So now we have our flare, but remember that the flare has like a ruffle at the center part. So I'm just going to put this together now so that I can notch the center, and then I'll cut the rope that I'm going to be using for so I'm notching the center on the upper part and on the lower part. So once I place it, I can easily note my center point. So for the strap that I'm going to be using to gather it, I'm putting this fabric on fold now by around 2 inches. Okay, so I have around 2 inches here. Okay, 2.5, and then the length I'm using is around 4 inches or 5 inches. So I'm going to be cutting this now, and then take it to the machine. So I'll sew it like this and then turn it out. So I've sewn this now, as you can see. Then I'm going to turn it out. So once you turn it out, this is what you will have. So this sewn part, I'm just going to push it to the middle because I don't want it to be showing in front like this. Then I'm going to take my cape, as you can see, and then I'm going to place it here like this. Okay, remember, if I was to be lining this or attaching this to a dress, if I place it like this, the lining will be on top of it, and by the time I sew it in and I turn it, the cape will be neatly finished inside. I hope you understand what I'm saying. This is our actual cape. This is the strap that we are using to gather it, and then this I will assume to be my lining. So this is how you place it, and then you sew it. So once you sew it and you turn it, your strap will be neatly concealed inside your main fabric and your lining like this. Okay, so because you are not lining this, I'm just going to place it on it like this, and then I'm going to run a stitch to hold it before I use it to pack the center of my sleeve. And also, you know, if you're to be sewing it, if you're to be adding lining also, we will also use the lining to turn out this part the same way we turn out the front. So let me just do this, then bring it back to show us. Okay, so you can see I've sewn it here. Then you're going to be gathering it like this, and then you're going to cover it up to have something like this. So this is a method you can use. Another method you can use is by ripping this, which is what I'll be using for this tutorial. I'll not sew this to my main clothes. So instead of sewing it to it like this, I'd have turned my cape with lining, and then after turning it with lining, I'm just going to sew this together. Just watch how I'm going to do it. This method, this is what I'm going to do. Remember, this is our center point that we notched. So you can just take your pleats and fold them a bit like this, so that this strap can pass through it. Then you take this strap now, and then fold it over like this and turn to the other side. Then take it to the sewing machine now and sew. So you can sew it anyhow you want, just to achieve something really neat. You can just tuck them inside each other like this, and then sew on top of it. The aim is to have something neat. Or you can just fold it into two. If you know your fabric can just go over it, when you finish sewing it, then you pass it through it until you reach the center part. Okay, so as you can see now, I've neatly tucked it in, and this is the other side. You can see that it is neatly finished on both inside and outside. So now what you need to do now is just to sew this to your cape, or you can even make it detached to your neckline, or you make it detachable. So if you are making it detachable, this is fine for you. But if you be sewing it to your dress, you may need to use the other method, so that you'll be able to sew it around here. Remember that one, we just sew it, then you can neatly turn it out using that method. So now just place this around our mannequin, so that we can see the effect that this is going to give us. Okay, so this is what our cape looks like after we have attached it to the dress, and you can see that it is very, very lovely, and it's also very simple to make. So let's assume that we just doubled this. It will even make it more puffy than what we have here, and I already explained that we can do that in the video. So you can see that it just brings a simple outfit to life, and it makes it really, really more beautiful and gorgeous. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you learned one or two things. Share this with your friends, like, comment, subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and click on the notification bell so that you get notified anytime we upload new videos.